Hello everyone and welcome to the SMALEI Digital Talks. This mini-series is a compilation of 6 webinars from EU-funded project Sustainability Matrix for Adult Education Institutions. Today we are hosting the 4th one. So far we have already explored topics like sustainability in adult institutions, green skill for teachers, and engaging learners. Today, we will dive into how institutions can help to raise awareness and get people involved in sustainability. This webinar, like the others, will be recorded and shared on the online learning platform at learning.ea.org. We invite you to register on this platform and participate in the SMALEI course. 3 modules are available online, and soon everyone will have the opportunity to revisit this webinar. There, you will access other resources, readings, and even an online quiz, all organized in 6 general modules. This course runs until February, with new modules released every 2 weeks. The aim of this digital academy is to provide a tool for adult education institutions and other education organizations to improve sustainability in their organization. We will share the link in the chat and in the follow-up email. Today's webinar is organized by Technica and hosted by Eduardo, partners in the SMALEI project. For those unfamiliar, SMALEI stands for Sustainability Matrix for Adult Education Institutions. Through the SMALEI project, we have created a matrix, a self-assessment tool to help adult education institutions evaluate and We've also developed a guidebook in 6 languages to guide institutions through a 5-step process for reflection and improvement. You can find all these resources on the SMALEI website. The focus of today's session is awareness raising and involvement of people in sustainability. We will talk about external communication, engaging communities, collaborating with local initiatives, and advocacy. Before we begin, a few housekeeping notes. This session is being recorded. Please stay mute during the session. Feel free to drop any question in the chat. This webinar will last 1 hour, so we will finish right on time at 1 p.m. So now I am going to introduce the 4 speakers. The first speaker is Leire Ganboa, who is a teacher in chemistry and environmental health program in Tartanga, close to Iratxe. The second speaker is Adriana Zagar, who teaches in the Education and Environmental Control Program in Easo Polytechnic, located in the urban area of Donostia and Sebastian. Both are vocational and adult education and learning centers. The third speaker is Garrachon, who is an entrepreneurship teacher in Calasanz and close to Iratxe. And the fourth one, Eduardo Alzola, who has a long journey in circular economic projects in Galdakao Hospitality and Tourism School, where he has also been director for many years. So after this short intro, let's start with the conversation. I have a question for you, maybe for Leire and Eduardo. What do you understand as awareness raising and involvement of people, and why is it so important for sustainability?
Well, as you've asked, for me, mainly raising awareness and getting people involved means not just teaching them about problems like sustainability, but also inspiring them to act in their daily lives. Awareness is the first step, but it's about understanding issues like climate change, using up resources, and reducing their waste. But just knowing isn't enough. We need people to make small changes in their habits, join community projects, and speak out for change. This is important for sustainability because real change happens when people work together. And when people are aware and involved, they see how their actions connect to a bigger picture and how they impact the environment around us and in the society. In all institutions, we have a special opportunity to connect with people of all ages and backgrounds, inspiring them to work together on sustainability. This can spread from individuals to their families and their communities. By encouraging them both raising awareness and taking action, we can create a culture where everyone takes responsibility for sustainability. This shows how important it is to increase active participation and community building are teaching sustainability, especially in all institutions. What do you think, Edu?
Your explanation seemed very interesting. I think that it's very important, the sustainability in school, because we can't forget we are preparing to the future generations. And this is great responsibility. In my opinion, awareness raising is one of the most important responsibilities in our context. Different professionals' activities in vocational training are matters of sustainability because each other has a deep impact on the environment, and it is necessary to develop good practices day by day to combat the climate change. We show our impact daily and study what we can do better for our actions for a better future. Like my partner Leire has said, awareness is the first step in a global world where the students have an incredible power. Only pressing a button to buy something the other side of the world without considering the carbon footprint, for example. No change is possible if people are not aware. For this, it is important to work internally to inform and train from institutions.
Okay. We have done the same reflection within a SMALEI project with all the partners, and we reached the conclusion that adult education schools can help people live more sustainably and get involved in making things more eco-friendly by offering different activities such as advocacy, campaigning, festivals, or community projects. By involving more people in activities and advocacy campaigns, institutions can ensure that sustainability is seen as an integral part of lifelong learning. I have another question about that. Do you think that citizens in general are aware about sustainability? From an institution perspective, is it easy to engage them?
Well, I believe that awareness of sustainability is growing, but there are still significant gaps in understanding the full scope and urgency of the issues. Many people are aware of certain aspects like recycling or climate change, but may not fully grasp how interconnected sustainability is with areas like social equity, community resilience, or even daily consumption habits. Engaging people can be both easy and challenging, depending on how we approach it. When we make sustainability feel practical and personally relevant, people are often eager to get involved. For instance, showing how small everyday actions like reducing food waste or conserving water can make a difference is very motivating. However, there are challenges. People often feel overwhelmed by the complexity of sustainability issues or feel that individual actions won't make an impact. That's where institutions play a vital role. We can break down these barriers by providing clear, accessible information and by creating supportive spaces where people can ask questions and try out new habits without judgment. We can turn that initial awareness into long-term commitment by making sustainability a shared journey rather than just an individual responsibility. So yes, there are challenges, but with the right approach, we can overcome them and build a stronger community involvement. This response acknowledges both the progress in public awareness and the barriers to deeper involvement, emphasizing the role of failed institutions in bridging that gap. What do you think, Adriana?
I agree with you, Iratxe, but I think that there are many people who, given the situation in which they live, cannot focus on the importance of this matter, and that is the reason why we are here, right?
Yes. Okay, so I think the audience would like to listen to your practices in detail. Yes. In what ways do your institution contribute to raising sustainability awareness in the community? What activities do you do? Does the community participate in them?
At my school, we announced October 24 International Climate Change Day, and to do this, our students from the Education Environmental Control Cycle prepare the message placed at on the walls of the stairs of our school. Last year also, we placed a test with the most significant data from COP28. This year also, the second year students of our cycle work on the challenge of the European Waste Prevention Week with the TAP Foundation. Last year, they worked on how to reduce packaging, and this year it was about food waste. A program of activities was prepared for the week. The first activity was a symposium where different participants shared how they can use leftover food and prepare very delicious dishes. What other initiatives other schools are carrying out in cooperation with the city councils, and how we can help in the food collection campaign for the food bank. Our students also organized a workshop to avoid leftovers. There were many activities. One of them was about a fun trivia question and answer. Other was creating in teams a receipt using ingredients at risk of waste. And there was also a contest in which we had to send a photo of our anti-waste meals. The goal of this is just promote sustainability and raise awareness about the environmental and the responsible use of food.
Well, Adriana, that's very interesting. And in my school, in Tartanga, we make similar things, but instead of celebrating a nature-related day, we normally celebrate the Green Week, which usually has a different topic each year. Normally, the second year students from the Chemistry and Environmental Health program, they plan activities based on the chosen theme. Past examples include responsible consumption or building a composting system. On the first proposal, in the main focus of the week was to run an awareness campaign to reduce consumption in areas such as food, energy, transport, or clothing. Students set up different stands in the school main hall and decorated them with leaflets, posters. They projected videos on the center screens, and they shared tips to help reduce consumption. In order to complete each stand, they also prepared little games to engage participants, and additionally, they also showed people or attendees how to use a carbon footprint calculator to check their personal consumption rate. The calculator also gave little recommendations based on each other's results to reduce our impact in the areas we consume the most. So it was very interesting. You take note.
Yeah.
During the week, which take place at the beginning or middle of December, we also hold other activities apart from the awareness raising campaign. For example, we prepare a whole escape game about the sustainable development goals that are around us everywhere right now and help students understand them a little bit more. We also invite experts during the week to talk on each one of the selected topics. For example, on the previous year, when we were doing the consumption campaign, we invited someone from Coopera, which is an organization very famous in our area. They are specialized in recycling and repurposing items like clothing, electronics, and promoting sustainability and social inclusion. They gave a speech about how they repurpose and resell the items they collect, especially clothes, and it was very interesting. Everyone enjoyed it. In the same week, we also had a small training course prepared for the teachers in our school based on green shopping, which is a very interesting topic that we want to promote right now. The other proposal I've named before, the one about creating the composting machine, we had a small collaboration between the chemistry and environmental health students with the social integration students in our school. And they made a small campaign about waste separation in the school. We've implanted the composting machine. They've set up little containers to collect organic waste. And they made an educational campaign showing everyone how the compost works, its benefits, how to use it in our garden at our school, and how to sort the organic waste properly. They also are in charge, our students, every weekly of collecting the organic waste that is in our bins. They feed the composting machine right now every week. We also created wooden and vinyl signs in our 3D printers in the school to label the garden, every item in the garden, the composter, and the organic bins. So it's very beautiful right now. And other program students and teachers were invited to participate as attendees to attend our program. And we also collaborate normally and invite the secondary school nearby, which is very interesting to promote ALE institutions from a young age.
Okay. Yes, I think that you have some pictures that you want to share with us.
Yes, I do. In the pictures, you can see the students participating in the whole escape, for example, in these first pictures about the sustainable development goals, which is very engaging for them and they enjoy it very much. It's based on 4 boxes that they have to unlock to solve a small problem. On the other pictures, we also have an image of the students explaining to the attendees everything about the consumption campaign. You can see on the tables they have the posters they've created, and I think they are right now showing them how to use the carbon footprint application. And on the next slide, you can see here, for one example of the leaflets the students have created. This one is based on reducing the consumption of food items or waste related to food. not only what we eat, but also the plastics that are involved or the covers of the food as well. And on the left, we have a poster which actually it's a video that is projected right now in the screens at our school, which gives little recommendations for the students or everyone that goes through our school about how to reduce consumption. In this case, it's recommending not to use plastic bottles, but we have recommendations about the 4 different topics we mentioned.
Nice. Nice.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting. We have a question there, but we are going to answer that. Maybe if we have time in the question and answer session. So we will continue knowing more about you and your experiences. You have talked about supporting campaigns, but does your institution collaborate with local sustainability initiatives? Do you usually take the lead in forming partnerships, or do other organizations or local groups reach out to you? Any experience?
It's a collaborative job. I think that the city council or municipality and workers and entrepreneurs in hospitality sector are strategic allies to develop different campaigns of sustainability. In this collaborative job, each academic year, IENTS propose actions and activities to be carried out in the municipality. One example is 0 kilometer journey. This activity promotes use seasonal and local products and is an example of networking. Local producers explain to participants, entrepreneurs, and workers in the sector the difference that comes from using a product that is in season, produced nearly, reducing the impact of the carbon footprint. Besides this, we cannot forget that this initiative also promotes healthy eating and responsible consumption. For example, coinciding with the mushroom season, autumn, and taking into account the traditional of this product in the municipality of Galdakao, the Pincho Lamperna contest is organized. This contest proposed the project journey of 0 kilometer. We prepare with the city council a competition in Galdakao, a town with nearly 35,000 citizens, inhabitants. The parts of the municipality have to make a small pincho using the different mushrooms, very important and traditional seasonal product in Galdakao. The general objective on the program is to bring the hospitality industry closer to local products of proven quality. In this way, the agricultural and livestock sector is promoted, which is positioning itself in a production that is more respectful with the environment and offers us products of high nutritional value that perhaps have not always had value in their fair measure by hot cuisine and help to contribute the 12th goal, responsible consumption and production, as a contribution and support to sustainable development. The rules to participate in this competition are small culinary preparations, pinchos, with different kind of mushrooms and local products. The price is less than €2.50. The preparation is sold for 2 or more days in the different bars. There are 2 kinds of jury: the people to consume, to eat the pincho, and especially jury. The teachers of our school and 2 persons of the local development area in the city council. The professional jury evaluates, among others, the following aspects: presentation, innovation, flavor, use seasonal products, use of raw materials from local producers, local products, 0-kilometer products, farm to table concept. These small culinary creations compete with each other in such a way that each establishment offers the pincho its percentage to be scored. Several agents participate in the organization. Companies such as Coca-Cola, City Council, our school, the Business Association take part. The economic promotion area of the City Council to promote the sector and develop actions that contribute to sustainability in the productive sector publishes a brochure with the participants and pinchos that are presented in the competition. Actually, more of 15 bars take part in this activity, and more of 2,800 people consume and rate the pinchos. Finally, an awards gala is organized at the Galdakao Hospitality School, which took place on the 10th. Awards are awarded by the municipality's city council. As a result of this project, we received the request to organize a 0-kilometer cooking course aimed at professionals in the sector. The course was organized and paid by the government and began on November 12th. We received more than 40 petitions for only 13 people. A 40-hour course that is taught on Tuesdays and Thursdays evening from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. A summary resume of the contents is: what is the 0-kilometer cooking, the slow food concept, conditions to be a 0-kilometer restaurant or bar with small preparations, pinchos, typology of producers and production standards, organic production regulations, what are genetically modified foods, the organic farming, products and recipes. The course ends today in the afternoon.
Well, Edu, that's a very interesting initiative that you have. For example, in my school, which is located in Santurtzi, a small town nearby Bilbao, we have the higher degree in social integration organizes a sustainable market where they sell second-hand toys and clothes, or even products made by themselves in the entrepreneurship sector. The money raised is donated to a charitable initiative of the choice of the students.
Problem is you put it there, there's no way to get there.
We usually hold the market around Christmas to highlight the importance of giving toys and clothes a second life. In fact, we celebrated this market yesterday. So the items sold come from students, teachers, families, and even local shops that donate their extra stock. First, we sort through everything to decide what can be reused and what can't. Then we bring the selected items to a chart where we set up the market and sell them. This initiative is meaningful because it brings together people both from the school and the community. It also raises awareness about reusing and giving items a second chance. The feedback we receive is always positive. Visitors appreciate the opportunity to buy affordable items, especially those who might not have the resources to purchase new ones. Initially, the market was held within the school, but as interest grew, people from the town wanted to take part too. To make this happen, we worked with the city council to move the market to a public space where everyone could participate. We've also partnered with charities like Caritas and Coopera, this last one is the one that Leire mentioned before, to make the event even more impactful. Overall, it's a rewarding experience that brings different people together to work towards a more sustainable and supportive future.
Okay, very interesting. Partnerships seem to play a key role in engaging more and more people in sustainability efforts. Are your activities aligned with community interest or current sustainability challenges? I think that maybe in this time, Leire and Adriana have some nice activities. No, they have done some nice activities last weeks.
Yes, just as you mentioned, last week in Tartanga, we organized a campaign about the Asian wasp with the help of the Erandiotan Council and where our school is located. Our students led a campaign to raise awareness about different invasive species and their impact on our native species, focusing especially on the Asian wasp and its impacts on our local bee, which is an actual problem right now. As part of the campaign, our second-year students from the Chemistry and Environmental Health program, they shared information about the invasive species that cause most damage in our surroundings, and they gave tips on how to prevent the spread of these species. With the informative campaign, they also, they made different leaflets about those species, as you can see them. And they've also made a little workshop to make traps for the Velutina wasp. As you can see here, the traps were made with plastic bottles using 2 elastics, some sugar to attract the bees, and most importantly, this piece, yellow piece, printed on our school 3D printers. As you can see, the piece is a selective trap designed to allow the Asian wasp to enter the trap and other kinds of wasps or bees that are locally native to our area, but as the Velutina wasps are much bigger than our local ones, they can't escape the trap. And our local bees have 4 little holes where they can escape. Well, I leave it here. After the workshop, we held at our school, and we also invited students from the primary school nearby and the secondary school nearby. We made a common plan to locate the traps around the town with the town council's permission. We want to place the traps in spring. It is normally done through between March and May, because now in winter the wasps are mainly lethargic, and it's in spring when the queen starts to is when the queen is most active, and it starts to create the primary home. This was important because we also want to promote the Erandio Town Council, and both in our town is urban, a very rural area, and the wasp is mainly active in those rural areas. And we also wanted to promote those areas that are a lot of the times forgotten in this kind of activities. So we work with the town council to promote the rural areas and their problems, and we want to help them with this trap to ease their activity and daily lives. We think this way we will also raise a community and focus the importance on them as well. I believe this activity should be done, or this kind of activities should be done every year, and our students organize campaign yearly, and these workshops are very interesting, and local schools normally are invited and come to our school to participate. And this way we create a community, and nowadays I think they expect our invitation, and they save that time of the year on their calendars every year. They know they are going to receive that invitation for the awareness raising campaign.
Nice initiatives. In our school last year, we worked with some non-government organizations on how climate change affects the most disadvantaged population in Africa. These people have to move from their land looking for fertile lands. This year, the collaboration was with the NGO UNRWA Euskadi, and consisted on the organization of workshops to work together on climate justice in the classroom, and ended with the realization of an activist on the Boulevard of San Sebastian. We carried out different activities. First, we did work prior to the webinar in the classroom to situate the students in the current situation. And then the webinar aimed to exchange knowledge between the Basque Easo students, teachers, and young environmental activists from West Bank and Gaza. In the webinar, the NGO Pengon described how climate change affects Palestinians in the context of the occupation. Apart from the NGOs, there were also public entities collaboration, such the Basque Agency of Development Cooperation, the Basque Government, and the Provincial Council of Guipúzcoa. Finally, we carried out the activist installation in collaboration with the artist Iratxe. We worked together in the classroom on the occasion of the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people. That was November 29. And then it was installed in the city center Boulevard. This activist installation wanted to contribute to the construction of a Basque citizenry committed, supportive, and mobilized for the defense of the human rights of the refugee population of Palestine.
Very interesting.
It was a nice day with the students, and
So you developed a project about biodiversity, about climate migrants. Is it true that Sustainability Umbrella allows center to develop a quite different project? Do you want to share any different projects of sustainability?
Oh, yes. For example, on the project, this is a project that works on sustainable entrepreneurship with students It was made in the past year, and it was a good business idea. A group of students presented a proposal to produce a good bread made without wet flour, using a corn flour, original, nutritious, locally produced, and which promotes the sustainable development of ecosystems and rural communities, and the waste of red wine, beer, bagazo, of another project of students. They made amazing good bread. This project won the award for the best business idea from the Provincial Council of Vizcaya.
That's very interesting. This is a really interesting topic because there are a lot of people with celiac disease or food intolerances nowadays, and it's a very interesting area of investigation. As there are more people every day with this kind of intolerances and in need of gluten-free products. I know about another innovation project, one developed in Playaundi, for example. Have you heard about it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Playaundi is an ALE school located in Irún, near the French border, and they have a dietetics program in which they had the objective to develop foods with sustainable and whole protein from vegetable origin.
Mm-hmm.
The plants that surround us didn't have the protein content they wanted, so they resorted to another plant from outside. They selected the cactus nopal or prickly pear cactus. Have you heard?
I've been in Mexico and
Yeah, that one. Which they discovered that could adapt to live in our humid and cold climate. Con elaboration and production could be for some project. In the creation of the cosmetic products, like collaborated with a local eco-friendly and natural cosmetic company named Pole Biocosmetics, and they provided support with their experience in the process of developing and validating these products. For the creation of the food products, such as jams, cakes, or smoothies, the Bilbao School of Hospitality, yes, very good, which also took part in this project, collaborated with a local company named Gelati, who produce ice creams normally.
I'm starving.
Yes. This company helped develop the food products, focusing on the prickly pear cactus as the main or key ingredient of what they created. One of the activities they made to promote the project was a food event held at the Bilbao School of Hospitality. And during this event, students prepared dishes with the waste of the prickly pear cactus. And the project hasn't ended here, as they are so happy with the results they have obtained. They are now looking for support and a little bit of money to continue with the research project. So I hope it goes well for them. I hope so. Yeah.
So very interested. But in Galdakao, we have another project. Zagar is another kind of activity made with our students. We contact with a local producer of apple that explain the characteristics of their special production in a journey with the students and different teachers. They learn to obtain the apple juice using presses and make apple cider. In addition, they use the apple waste to make jam and quincy, an important example of circular economy. With this project, We are raising awareness about the importance of sustainability and the analysis of the life cycle of the product.
Okay, Edu. Would you like to share some pictures with the audience?
Yeah. We can see in this picture several photographs that we can see two teachers of the school with the apples in the floor. The students are cleaning the apples and selected the natural apple to make a press and put to obtain and press to obtain the apple juice and put in a special container for fermentation to obtain the cider. In this, we can see the bottles of apple juice, the waste apple, a bottle of cider, and finally, students who are a job with the apple waste to make the marmalade and a quiz. This is the bottles.
Very beautiful, Edu. I think you've had a very enjoyable day making all of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Until now, we have focused on local communities, but these days, social media can help adult education centers to reach and raise awareness in a wider community. So I think that in Calasanz, you have an experience about how to work with virtual communities.
Yes, in fact, our school takes part in Erasmus Plus projects, and we developed the CESAR project together with other institutions from other countries. In this project, among many other different outputs, such as a manual about circular economy and a skills matrix, we designed an escape room where students, teachers, and people interested in circular economy could play and test how much they know about circular economy or learn new things about it. The escape room is uploaded on the web page of the project in 6 different languages and is accessible to everyone. We designed this because we think it's a nice way and a more dynamic way of learning things about this topic. So the storyline of the escape room is that 5 people have ended up in a desert island and they need to get out of it. For the only way of getting out is building a boat with sustainable materials. But those materials are hidden in 5 different countries. Therefore, they need to answer correctly to the questions hidden in each country. And after the questions from the countries have been achieved, they will get a number. And after achieving all the countries, they will make up a code. So once they have all the numbers of the code, the materials for the boat will be delivered. So also the way you have given visibility to this project is by testing them in different vet schools and also by participating in multiplayer events where different stakeholders take part.
Very interesting. Now we have 10 minutes to conclude this webinar. So I want to ask you about the future. How do you see the future of adult education in raising awareness and encouraging community involvement?
Well, that's an interesting and difficult question, Leire. So looking ahead, the future of adult education will rely heavily on strong external communication. Using media, press, and social networks, we can reach wider audiences, foster awareness, and encourage participation. These platforms not only help spread the information, but they also facilitate real-time interaction, allowing communities to engage directly with educational content and initiatives, especially when it comes to sustainability. Communication is key, but so is collaboration. Adult education institutions should form a strong networks, sharing open resources and best practices. By working together, they can amplify their impact and ensure that vital knowledge about sustainability and community engagement reaches those who need it most. The more these institutions collaborate and share, the stronger and more resilient our communities become. And sustainability must be integrated into all aspects of adult education. It's not just about teaching sustainability, but embedding it in the way we teach, the materials we use, and even the operational practices of institutions, whether it's through offering green courses or reducing environmental impacts. Sustainability needs to be a core value. What do you think, Leire?
I completely agree with you. I believe that every institution is unique and has a different relationship with its community, which gives it the potential to lead sustainability efforts in its own way. Adult education organizations can act as social activators, mainly leading by example. Whether that's through sustainable farming, green technologies, or community organizing, like in the examples we've mentioned. The local ties give them the power to drive meaningful change. These institutions are not just centers of learning, them as catalysts for community transformation, as you can say. By fostering awareness and empowering the individuals in our schools with the tools and knowledge to act, adult education can play a vital role in the building of more sustainable, resilient communities in our area. I believe that the future of adult education is about creating engaged, informed citizens who are ready to lead change in their communities. Through collaboration, sustainability, and strong community ties, adult education can be a powerful driver for positive social transformation.
Okay, yes. So we are going to open the floor of our question and answer session. This is a perfect opportunity for us to the speakers any question that you have that's related with the topic that we have covered. So feel free to write your questions to the chat box. Yes, and please write them clearly. There was a question from Tina, yes, and she writes about intergenerational projects. Have you any experience about that? Maybe adults?
Well, in the project I've mentioned about the Asian Wars, for example, as we believe it's a problem that is in our area and it affects all of us, as we all have to be aware about the wasps and be careful and mindful about them. We invited students from our school in Tartanga is located next to a primary school and a secondary school, and we invited all of the students, well, not all of them, but well, some of them came.
Yes.
And it was a very enriching experience because our adult students are not always used to interacting with children, and it was very enriching in our opinion. They enjoyed it a lot.
That's nice.
Okay. I have a question. I've noticed that learners can take part in your activities, no? So I have I have this question for myself also, that it is difficult to enjoy maybe sometimes to join students, and I would like to know if the students enjoy these activities. How can we get adult learners involved in sustainability activities?
Well, from my point of view, learners really enjoy these type of activities because it's not just sitting there and learning or having the theory part, but they also get to see how those activities have an impact, a positive impact on society. They feel that they are useful, that they are doing something to enrich society. So from that point, I think it's very interesting that they get to know reality, that they get to get in contact with other agents from the community. And for them, they really like doing these type of activities, I think.
I agree with you. I feel like these kind of projects most of the times are an excuse for the students to leave the classroom a little bit and to do more like handing stuff like little workshops or campaigns where they have to interact with other people. It's a lot more interesting for them, a lot more interesting than going to class and listening to our speeches.
Yes.
Most of the time.
Okay. So I am reading the chat, and I think that maybe there's another question related also with the students, no? How they can engage and support this type of sustainability activities. I think that we have no more time, unfortunately, so I am going to start closing this webinar. So I'd like to extend my sincere thanks to Adriana, Edu, Leire, and Iratxe for participating and sharing your experience in SMALEI digital talks. We hope that you found this webinar inspiring. You can share your feedback in the Digital Academy hosted by EA. And remember that this mini-series will continue in January and February, focusing on partnership and policy recommendation. So thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in the next webinar. Have a wonderful day, and I don't know if you want to say something more.
No.
Merry Christmas!
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
And thanks for joining.